the world has been invaded by demons. Demons possess their victims, poisoning their bodies and causing them to kill and spreading possession like an infection. But all this is the lot of big, densely populated cities, and when brothers Pedro and Jimmy, who live in a remote village, find a torn-up corpse in the woods, they don't think it has anything to do with a demonic epidemic. Until they learn that a neighboring farm has had a possessed man rotting away for a whole year. Since they can't kill possessed, because it may provoke more trouble, the brothers and their neighbor Ruiz decide to move the man away from their home, but each decision they make only complicates the situation. Ever since physical media became a thing of the past and online streaming services took over the movie home distribution, it's become much easier for projects from countries that aren't, shall we say, recognized leaders in the world of cinema, to reach their audience. And what's more, many streaming services have started to base their policies on finding unusual projects from all over the world. In this regard, horror movies have been particularly lucky. A traditionally inexpensive and very audience-friendly genre that doesn't need stars in leading roles or huge budgets for action and complex computer graphics to catch on. One of those who were thus discovered by the world was Argentine director Damian Runja, whose horror Adorados became a big hit on the streaming service of horror projects Shudder 5 years ago. The movie, imbued with a Lovecraftian Barkerian horror atmosphere, impressed many with its excellent suspense, unconventional laws and spectacular brutality. Runja's next project, however, appeared only 6 years later, but the wait was worth it. So far this is the best horror of the year, and perhaps the whole 5-year period. In When Evil Lurks, Runja uses more or less the same approach as in Adorados. He takes the traditional horror mechanics of an inevitable spreading epidemic, but this time it's not some familiar zombie virus or alien parasites that are spreading, but demonic possession. It is governed by 7 non-obvious laws, among them, for example, you should not use electric lights, you cannot kill the possessed, and even more so with firearms, you cannot call demons by name, and so on. Some of these laws aren't used in the story, but it's not a flaw. The most important is that their atypicality plays into the nothing is clear, but it's so interesting feeling that Runja prioritizes. The same feeling is played by the plot structure of the movie, which is built in such a way that all the explanations placed in the third act, and even then the authors only hint at things. When Evil Lurks is thought out and constructed in such a way that, on the one hand, you understand very well what exactly is going on, and on the other hand, you are constantly surprised, shocked, and, most importantly, frightened. Yes, When Evil Lurks is a rare horror that not only captivates and entertains, but also frightens, and Runja uses the most diverse arsenal for this purpose, from a vague sense of impending disaster to sudden outbursts of graphic cruelty. Compared to Adorados, the director has improved greatly in his ability to hold his audience by the throat. There's a dynamic storytelling style where moments of calm are often deceptive, a relentlessly menacing string soundtrack, inexplicably likable characters who you connect to emotionally even as they persistently do one stupid thing after another, and a truly shocking uncompromising violence. In its extremity, When Evil Lurks can compete with the best representatives of the horror genre from Europe, and although in the end the movie leaves more than one question unanswered, this is the case when answers are not even particularly necessary. Because the real evil does not have to explain itself to anyone. It's only scarier that way.